Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with some more Warhammer 3 news, this time with Miao Ying, the cold and aloof storm dragon. As we've had for the rest of this week, we have her faction mechanics as Creative Assembly are calling them, but really they're her faction effects and lord effects, and there's a bit to discuss here, so let's not waste any more time and jump right in. So at the very beginning we have Corruption -2 faction-wide, which, should work considering that we do know that they're going to be assaulted by Chaos a lot, especially since she's controlling the Great Bastion itself. It should be rather helpful. -2 is something. It really depends on how it's going to affect, because we know that there are multiple different types of corruption, so will this affect them all flat rate, or will it affect them as dividing between all the different corruptions? Still, -2 is better than nothing, and since we know we're going to get attacked a lot, it's going to help. Next, there's a black bar. It's very strange. I did ask Creative Assembly, and yes, this is intentional, so I'm assuming they're leaving something out here? It's rather weird. Maybe something that is just going to be revealed later, probably something for a mechanic that we haven't seen yet. Like, I am completely lost here, same as you guys, because, yeah, that's all they would tell me, it's just intentional. And lastly, for faction effects, we have ammunition plus 20% for missile units, which is of course very useful. We know that her brother is more melee focused, and this confirms that she's going to be more range focused. As we are all aware, Warhammer as a series is kind of focused around a ranged meta, so this is going to be extremely useful, especially if, say for example, you've got some good melee warriors holding down enemies at a choke point, and you're firing from, say, platforms or so on. 20% itself is also a rather big bonus. We never know if this changes in the future. Keep in mind that anything that we're seeing is obviously subject to change if the Creative Assembly deem it so. But that was everything in terms of faction effects. Now we can move on to lord effects, where we've got just two. First is upkeep -50% for missile infantry units in Lord's army, which, yeah, that's pretty strong. Like, that is a very, very strong bonus. It's likely that there will be some skills that Miao Ying will have, and possibly even some tech to reduce that, which will make them near enough free. Never mind that, we also know that there's some low-tier missile infantry, like for example peasant archers and so on, so you're gonna have a very cheap stack very early into your game. Again, this makes sense. We don't know exactly how it's gonna play and how often Chaos are gonna attack, but still, like, it's going to be useful. And lastly, like her brother, she'll also have a bonus to Harmony, which is Yin +3, where her brother has Yan +3. Now, as expected, given that we know that Yin and Yang has to be done in a certain way to be able to get benefits from everything, or you can focus around one thing but receive negatives from the other, this could work for or against you. It's very difficult to tell at the moment, as we have received information regarding the mechanic, but not a complete, complex series on how it's actually going to work. That, I'm assuming, is going to be early next year, because I think Creative Assembly have broken for Christmas at this point. I'm not 100% too sure. But with all that being said, I think that's every single legendary lord now. Yeah, we're still missing some information on Mr. Ninth, who's yet to be revealed, and of course the Slanesh mechanics, but that's all going to be in the new year, I'm assuming. There's been a lot of reveals, but now it is Christmas Eve at the time of releasing this video, so to all of you, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we'll be back soon. I just need a little break to catch up with my family for a bit. See ya everyone, and I hope you all have a lovely weekend.